Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crypto Tips. My name is Toby and I want to give you my price prediction on Solana. But first, I want to go over where I am coming from in order to give you a price prediction. I'm not just going to throw something out of the air and just hope it sticks. So I'm going to be very conservative and I'm going to kind of explain to you like there's certain characteristics of Solana that I am incredibly bullish on and that I see really being a contender for ETH. So right now there are currently the transactions per second is 2,531 transactions per second. Okay. Now compare that to Ethereum's 15 transactions per second. So there's a lot more going there. Okay. Also that time when Solana had been down for about 2 days, the transactions per second actually went all the way up to 400,000 transactions a second, which is a crazy number. And that's why it crashed the system. And so I think that, the developers of Solana have worked on it. I don't think that's really going to happen again. I'd be actually really surprised if it happened again. Okay, so let's go over this. There has been 33.6 billion total transactions altogether. And this is from a network that has been around for not very long. That's a huge number. That means there's a lot of people piling into this space and using Solana. And I don't blame them because it's freaking cheap to use Solana and it's fun and it's fast. So why wouldn't they? And, as people migrate to this space, because, people are going to hear of all-time highs, they're going to hear, when Bitcoin reaches 70, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, which it will, the masses are going to pile in and they're not going to have the money. In my opinion, a lot of people aren't going to have the money to get into Ether, NFTs, or play with DeFi space on Ethereum. They're just not. They're not going to be able to. Some
because of the transaction fees.
Oh yeah.
I didn't say that part.
So because of the transaction fees on Ethereum, I think as the price of Bitcoin moves up, Bitcoin rises all tides. I see that Ethereum is just going to be more and more expensive, and people are going to choose a cheaper option like Solana. People don't have $500 sometimes to go ahead and participate in an NFT minting. That's just too much. So they're going to choose different options. And, a lot of people that are going to be entering this space near the all-time highs, this is what happens. This always happens as we reach crazy heights of prices, more and more people are going to jump in because people are attracted to higher prices. Heidi and I have been saying this for a very long time, and it happens every single time. So, okay, let me go over this. There are a couple things that I don't like about Solana. Okay, it's first off the price the price. So the cost of running a node on Solana is ridiculous. It costs, if you want to be one of the top node holders, if you want to be one of the top validators, you are literally going to have near 200,000 Solana. And that's out of the reach of most people. And so it's going to, there's going to be a centralized. It makes it more centralized for sure, especially when it costs a ton just to buy the machines to run a node, and also like to be one of the top nodes validators, so that you can actually win the block rewards. And so that's really important, like to know that it is more centralized. There's less people at the top that will be running the show, which is unfortunate. But I think, as time goes on, I'm hoping that the ecosystem will kind of spread out a little bit. That's one of the things I like about Cardano, is because it is more decentralized. So I like how Cardano has specific mechanisms to incentivize decentralization. And Charles has done a great job at implementing that into Cardano. So let's get back to this. Okay, so Solana is a layer 1. There's no need for sharding. There's no need for layer 2, which means they can process all the transactions on their original blockchain, which is really good. And another thing I really like about Solana is because the programming language, you can program Solana in C and C++, which is like the majority of what developers would use anyways. So they won't have to use, say, for instance, Solidity, which is on Ethereum. That's how you code with Ethereum. And so they don't need to learn an entirely new language. And I think that's really going to benefit Solana, especially in the long haul, and especially as the bull run continues to go up. I don't think we've seen anything yet really with this coin. Okay. So lastly, I want to go over market cap. So right now, Solana has a $62 billion market cap at $209. Compare that to Ethereum at $478 billion. Okay, so when I do see that Solana is going to take a lot of market share away from Ethereum. I mean, how couldn't it? It's fun to use, it's cheap, it's fast, and the list goes on. So I do see the masses really starting to migrate over to Solana. So price predictions. Okay, so if Solana is at $62 billion right now, and right now Ethereum is at a $478 billion market cap, why can't Solana be half of that? So my conservative, this is just a very conservative number because it could go much higher, but my conservative price target for this, if you divide $478 billion, which is the market cap currently right now for Ethereum, I could see very easily that the price of Solana will be at roughly half of what Ethereum is. And so if you do that, that's literally $809 for Solana. Now, keep in mind that as the price of Bitcoin rises, that's going to rise all tides. So that means Ethereum will probably reach from $10,000 to maybe $15,000 per coin at the top of the bull run. It could be much more, who knows, but I'm just being conservative. So if that's the case, and it does continue to rise, and we could be at the multiple thousands of dollars, like $2,000 easily for Solana if it continues to grow the way it's growing. Now, there's plenty of other blockchains out there. Cardano could definitely take the limelight soon, because they're coming out with the NFTs. They're really ramping up their DeFi space. Let's see what happens there. But right now, I see that Solana is kind of taking the limelight away from pretty much everything. And it's really interesting to actually watch this. We guessed, earlier in 2020 that, hey, Solana would definitely be in the top 10. I didn't expect this much movement right away. And so, I could definitely see that, within the next year or whatever, it could reach $2,000 or even more. So, but that is just a little price prediction. Who knows if I'm right? Anything can happen. So that's just what I've come up with, and hopefully it happens. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and stay disobedient. Bye-bye.